Commitment leads to action. Actions bring your dreams closer. Hi, I'm Linda Watson-Call. I'm so glad that you could join me for today's episode of Dragonfly Soup. Now, this could be an urban legend, but the story from Kenneth Bau's blog goes like this. Several years ago, Yitzhak Perlman agreed to attend a charity event in Vienna after one of his concerts. The tickets were for $500 each, and the guests were allowed to speak to Mr. Perlman and get his autograph. One man entered the roped-off area where Perlman was and stretched out his hand to shake hands. The man said, "Mr. Perlman, you were absolutely phenomenal tonight. You were amazing." Perlman smiled and said, "Thank you." The man said, "All my life I have had a great love of violin, and I have heard every great violinist, but I have never heard anyone play the violin as brilliantly as you did tonight." Perlman smiled and said nothing. The man continued, "You know, Mr. Perlman, I would give my whole life to be able to play the violin like you did tonight." Perlman smiled once more and said, "I have." You see, Yitzhak Perlman could have had a good reason for not becoming one of the world's greatest violinists. He could have given up playing before he made his first public appearance. Perlman, at a very early age, became interested in playing the violin. When he was 3 years old, he was told he couldn't study at the Shulamit Conservatory because he was too small to hold a violin. Good reason to give up, right? Not Perlman. He decided to play a toy fiddle until he was old enough for the conservatory. He also gave his first recital at 10. Now, this sounds so much like a child prodigy, and there have been others like him. So what makes his story any different? Well, Perlman was 4 years old when he contracted polio. He still wears leg braces, walks with crutches, and has to sit while playing the violin. Now, you may not realize this, but standing is the standard for a violinist who's performing solo. But it was his love of music and his determination to succeed in spite of what others may have considered a handicap. This is what made Perlman a success. He stayed committed to his goal. He took the necessary steps to make it happen. To become great at anything requires dedication, commitment, and action. Most of us, even though we say, "I would like to be great at," and you can fill in the blank, we really don't follow through, and we don't do what needs to be done. We fall back on the same excuses: no time, no real opportunity, not enough money. I know a person who has the burning desire to be physically fit no matter what. Now, this friend works full-time and is a mom. She has the typical mom things to do every day. You know, make lunch, check homework, household chores, all those things. Her solution? She gets up at 5 a.m. and drives down to the fitness center. She meets with her coach, and then she works out. She's back home in time to get her child on the bus, and then she leaves for her job. Commitment? Yes. Dedication? You bet. Taking action? Absolutely. Oh, did I mention this? Her child has special needs. When we really want something, when we are truly passionate about something, our goal, we will put together an action plan. This plan will not only include what we want to do, but the steps we need to do to accomplish it and the resources we need. And that includes the amount of time required. We make the plan by making appointments with ourselves and writing them on the calendar, like tennis lessons every Tuesday at 10 a.m., practice time Thursday, Saturday, Sunday at 3 p.m., or Complete school assignments every evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Once our routine is established, it makes it so much easier to follow and complete. Without the routine and the appointed times, it's too easy to say, "I'll get to that later," because later is a time that never comes. We also organize ourselves. We put our sports equipment in the same place when we return from practice. Then we're not searching for a wristband or shoes when we need to leave. Our study area is clear of distractions and everything we need is nearby. A writer friend of mine has told me that she gets more done when she keeps her writing area organized. Pens, pencils, markers are left in the same place every night. Her notes are filed in appropriate folders on her computer. Other applications on her computer and her phone are shut off. Then, for 2 hours every evening, after everyone is in bed, she writes. Dedication, commitment, discipline. Now, you may be wondering, can a person who is committed also be tolerant of schedule upsets and be flexible? Well, we all know that life happens, usually when we least expect it. The idea is to stay focused and figure out how you can rearrange your obligations to minimize any disruptions. Often it means to look at our schedule and determine which activities must be done, no matter what else is going on, and which activities are a lower priority and can be omitted or moved to another day or even another week. Now, I'll be the first to admit, juggling activities, knowing that a missing key activity could set me back, is not my favorite thing to do. But when an emergency comes up, we have to reorganize as best as we can. Reorganizing does not mean canceling an activity that is vital to your goal and then blaming not doing it on the emergency. The goal is to stay on track as best we can. The question we have to ask ourselves is, how committed are we to reaching our goals and our dreams? According to Marcia Vider, commitment leads to action. Action brings your dreams closer. Some of us feel that we just can't dedicate our entire life to our dreams. Well, if we can't, then why do we keep dreaming about having that better life? What we need to do is realistically determine how much time we want to spend on our goal. The more passionate we are about our goal, the more time we are willing to spend on it. Yes, we need to remain flexible when the unexpected comes up, always prioritizing our activities and staying focused. Distractions will always show up, but they don't need to derail us. Now, I'm going to ask you, how do you get back on track when life happens? Share your experiences and accomplishments in the comments below, or send them to me in a message. And I'll see you next week, right here on Dragonfly Soup. Here's to our transformation and our best year ever.